Okay, this video is going to show us how to go from Solidworks to Illustrator and prep our work for the laser cutter. So the first thing we need to do, we've got our 3D box that we've assembled here in Solidworks. I'm going to open up one of the sides. We're going to need to do this for each unique part. So we have two of these, so we don't need to do it twice. We have two of these, we don't need to do it twice. We only have one of these. So we're going to need to open up these three parts in order to make these files. It's actually a little part in here that we'd have to open up too, but I'm just going to do one of them for an example. So I've got the side open here, and notice that I'm normal 2. So I'm going to right click, go normal 2. I just like to do that. Right click again, and I'm going to go to DXF, export DXF. Hit OK, and we're going to save this in your folder. I'm going to put this in my folder just for example. And hit save. You have to hit save again, this green check over here, and then one more time. I don't know why there's 3 steps to the saving it, but that's what there is. Alright, so I'm going to close out of this. I have Illustrator open. When you open up Illustrator, make sure you open up Illustrator CS6, because the laser cutter currently isn't updated to the new version. So open up Illustrator CS6. First thing I would do is go to Preferences and set your units to inches, so that there's no error when you import your file. So we're set to inches all the way through. Hit OK. We're going to go to File, New. I'm going to have you set up this file to the largest possible piece of material we can put on the laser, which is 24 inches wide by 12 inches tall. We don't need to assign it a thickness because this is a 2D program. Alright, so we've got our workspace here. This is the maximum space we could possibly use on our laser. We're going to go to File, we're going to hit Place now. And we're going to go into that folder that I just exported that DXF to. So let me get a second. Whoops, wrong folder. And you should see a file that looks like this. Alright, you're going to double click that. When you double click it, you're going to get a message that says original size, scale to fit, scale 1:1. Make sure you're again set to inches, super important, and you want to go original size. Otherwise your box is going to come in at the wrong size. You're going to get this message, you're going to hit OK, and it's going to come in. Now when you move it onto your workspace here, be extremely careful that you don't drag it. And if you do make that mistake, there's 2 ways to correct it. You can either import it again, or you can hit Control Z. Just make sure you hit Control Z instead of trying to resize it yourself. You'll never get it back to the right shape. When SolidWorks comes in, it's going to come in with this text. Just click on that text. You can delete it. If you highlight it, hit the delete button. Get rid of that. Now these are each individual lines right now, and we don't want them to be individual lines. We want to join them. So I'm going to make a box, select all of this, but I don't want to join the circles because they're something different. So I'm going to hold my shift key down and then select the circle, and it will deselect the circles. I now come up to Object, go to Path, and go to Join. So now when I click on this, notice it's one path. The circles already are one path, so we don't need to worry about those. I do want it all to be 1/1000th of an inch. You may remember from our holiday project that the laser cuts only when it's 1/1000th of an inch. So we're going to come up here and we're going to type in 0.001, hit OK. Alright, now I made a video earlier and I made a mistake because I forgot to do the offset. The laser has a kerf, which means it's going to cut away some of the material, so we need to offset these lines. Notice I'm using my magnifying glass and I'm zooming in really tight to this portion right here. I'm then going to grab my selection tool and I'm going to select the outer path. This needs to be offset to the outside 5/1000. So I'm going to go Object, Path, Offset. And I'm going to enter in a value here of 0.005. Alright, when I hit OK, notice that it jumped to the outside. Now unfortunately I need to delete the one on the inside, but for whatever reason Illustrator groups them together. So we need to click on the inside one, right click and hit ungroup, then just click on the inside one and delete it. Now for the inner circle I need to do the opposite. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go to path, offset path, but I'm going to put a negative value in here and hit OK. And now, instead of deleting the one on the inside, I'm going to delete the one on the outside. Because remember, my laser is going to cut some of the material on either side of the line, and I want the hole to be the right size. So I'm going to click this one, and oops, I need to ungroup them again, and do the inner one. And this part has two holes, so I'm going to pan over to the other side here and make sure I do the same thing so that both of these holes are good. So again, just to review, select, object, path, offset path. In this case it's a negative value because I want to be on the inside. I need to right click and ungroup them and then select the outer one and delete it. We did the opposite here. We selected the inner one and deleted it. That's it. Forgot to mention we want to make sure that we save this. Save what you've done. And then also save a copy to the network drive. So you can get in there when you hit save, just hit OK here, and save a copy to the network drive so it's over there. So we're going to hit save. In this case, we're going to do a backup to the network drive, laser jobs, and there's a folder in here for boxes. So just save your box in there. All right.